Was I like looking at the screen like I'm like doing stuff? It's because the YouTube was playing. There's no one watching, so we're safe.
Okay. It's very
All
late.
right.
What if
It is
someone's
late.
watching but they're not logged into a YouTube account? Do they still count as a viewer?
Oh, I don't actually know.
Someone open up an incognito tab and then start playing this, and we'll see if the view counter goes up.
Father, the way to pronounce that word is incognito.
That is not the way to pronounce that word. That's the Starfleet boy. Sorry. See,
Jesus.
I couldn't even say it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, fine. That's a fun way to start off the stream, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to talk about Starfleet Boy at the Hollywood premiere of Picard Season 3, but then Father, he died at the very beginning,
shit.
so...
Let me put my little banner up here while we're waiting. But so go ahead.
I was
Ahead,
gonna ask
Father.
you. I was gonna ask you a question that I tried asking you earlier about the premiere.
All right,
And-
go ahead.
but I don't know. It might be a better off-air subject. I was asking. Did anyone mention me? But I don't know. I don't know if that's something that we should share here.
Yes, you're very missed. There's so many people asking for Text Trek.
Really? Like who?
Yeah, like I think Jessie sent her regards. There were a bunch of people I don't remember who they are because they were like new people, and I'm sorry, Starfleet Boy's an old man, and can't remember their names, but they were just like, oh yeah, I've seen you on Text Trek. Like they were more fans of yours than mine. Like most people didn't know who I was,
Really?
but they did know who Text Trek was. So if I used you as an affiliation,
Well,
I'm just talking about like
that's-
like all the stars knew who I was, but like the regular people.
Oh, the
like
regulars.
myself-
The regular
The reg-
people don't. But the
No.
stars know who you are.
No,
so,
I'm just
okay.
kidding. The stars didn't know who I was either, but that's that's okay. It's like that's like everyone's experience except for a very few. Like Aaron Harvey is known. He's like
Of course he's known. He wrote,
yeah,
he
he's
wrote
like,
the book on one of the
No, but
Star
he's
Trek
like-
shows.
like he's kind of like always, like there's like some folks like Dr. Patrick Patterson like is well known.
Yeah.
Which I saw him really quickly to give him
Was
a
he
hug,
there?
and yeah, he was there in full force, and it was clear to me that he actually runs Star Trek, not Alex Kurtzman.
I had my suspicions.
Yeah. PJ's like, what the? By the way, Alex Kurtzman was there. That was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, and he gave like, have you guys seen like the
Hi,
coverage
Joel.
of this? Hey, Joel's in the audience. Okay, cool.
Hey.
Thanks. I didn't have the chat up. Oh,
Joel,
Joel.
I didn't have time to read all of my my Twitter notifications, but I saw that I briefly saw what you tweeted, and thank you so much. I need to find time to reply to that, but I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Should we call this the download? Is that a good name for this?
The down low.
Download. Star Trek
Oh.
Picard premiere download. Did I spell premiere right?
Yes,
Premiere.
it's a tricky one. It's
It's
a
premiere.
word that I have to
Premiere.
Premiere.
primate.
No, it's pronounced
Premiere.
premiere.
I have to double
Premiere.
check it every like 10 weeks when there's a Star Trek premiere or finale. Why do we use these like weird French words with like extra vowels and stuff? Premiere,
Well,
finale.
in other countries they just say final for finale, or like the season final.
In the UK, they
I've
do
heard that. Yeah.
Premiere has always been premiere, I think.
But I hate when the UK people when they're like the season final. It's like no, it's
Premiere
a
is
finale.
just a fancy word for the beginning of some, the beginning. Or I don't know. It's fun. What is another word for it though? If we
How
only
about
had
debut?
access-
But that's debut. Is
Debut.
it's a weird French
It's the
word
first
too with
time.
a silent T. It's like the French
you-
own all of this shit.
Whoa. Well, the English language is a combination of it's got a history.
Starfleet Boy
Many
said
different
that
languages.
Dr. Patrick runs Star Trek, but I'm starting to think that Trek on the Tube runs the English language.
Trek on the tube.
And he made it all French.
That's how he Trek
Oh,
on
John
the
Daw,
tube.
don't turn me into Father Ray.
By the way, Aaron Harvey calls you Steven, and now I kind of want to call you Steven. Is it weird to be called Steven by two people? You want Aaron Harvey to keep calling you Steven, but me Fathery?
That
Preferable, right?
that would probably be my preference, but I don't. Y'all can call me either, or just say fat asshole, and I'll respond to that too.
What is with the scrolling Star Trek Picard premiere download?
Yeah, it makes it
What-
sound like
what
you can click here to down. Are you trying to get clicks by like false advertising?
What
Trying
did
to get
I
people
call
to
the
download
stream?
the premiere?
Wait, what did I call the stream? I'm tired, by the way. That's why I did this lighting, so you can't see the bags under my eyes.
I mean, or we could have done this in the morning or something.
No, I
like-
can't wait. I'm too excited. I can't sleep.
That's a
You
nice
know,
uniform.
Tomorrow,
Just
What's
to
that? Thanks.
clarify, you literally like just returned from LA. Like you went across the United States from Florida to Los Angeles,
yes,
and then just got back. How many hours ago?
I landed like an hour ago, I think. Or no,
God.
hour and 40 minutes ago, because it took
You just
almost an
you
hour.
couldn't
to get.
contain yourself. You're so excited to share with
I was
all of
so
us.
excited, and I was just it was beyond anything I ever could have imagined. It's
Yeah,
something that it's very special. But
If
but
anyone,
aside from that, yeah, go ahead.
if
go
anyone
ahead.
deserved to be there, sorry. for
Ah,
cutting
come
you off,
on,
but
no.
you are unquestionably, without a doubt, for years, the biggest fan of the TV show Star Trek Picard. Ever to tweet on the Twitter sphere, if anyone deserved the invite to go there, it was you. If John Delancey appeared in my home right now, like weeks ago, say, and he said, "Fathery, pick any being in the universe throughout time and space to go to the final Picard premiere, who would you pick?" And like without hesitation, I would say Sohel. Well, shit, I don't know how to say his last name. but
Fazludin.
Starfleet Boy.
Very
He's
good,
Starfleet
yeah,
Boy on all the
Starfleet Boy.
socials.
That's how Q will find me. Thank you, Father. That means a lot to hear you say that. I certainly don't think that I deserved it any more than there's quite a few of us Picard lovers out there. Like from season 1, there's a nice group of us, and I think a lot of them were there. By the way, I met a lot of folks in the fan area because we got to talking, and everyone kind of says, yeah, there's things that I didn't like personally, but like overall it was a lot of fun and I was getting what was going on. But there were definitely people also there like Robert Burnett who it was a very balanced crowd, I would say, and he's been very critical of season 1 and season 2 Picard, but he loves season 3, and that says something. And I think that's where like it's a weird thing. I don't prescribe to the idea that Star Trek will ever have a series that's going to unite every fan. Like I don't think that's like a realistic thing to want. I used to be very like vocal about that kind of thing. Like I would say like, oh, Discovery didn't like, it went too far or whatever, like, that kind of thing. But now that I've like kind of like Star Trek's kind of like in this new era like aged a little, and I'm seeing like a little bit better the big picture, I think, of what they're doing. I've let go a lot of those things personally, but I could see how people would still be upset about it. Like there's a lot of people who had a lot of expectations. There was like a long period of time where people had to wait, and then also there's like on top of that, like as we know, social media is a very polarizing on purpose
Yes,
place. So
yeah.
it creates like interesting combinations of things. But in real life at the theater, everyone there was just a goddamn Star Trek fan, and you could just tell that like everyone there, it almost felt like to me that almost everyone there, like, just kind of for a moment, like no matter what they actually thought of this, because you did hear a lot of, like it was, like I said, it was very balanced. Like you heard the folks that didn't like Star Trek Picard season 1 and 2 very vehemently didn't like it, and you heard about people like me who like loved it. So it was fun to like have these conversations in public, because like some of the debates we got into, and like that's the other fun thing, it felt like a convention, and when Aaron Harvey, if he comes on, that's what it felt like. That's what was cool and different about it, is that like we were having these dialogues and discussions and people were expressing their true feelings, but it didn't feel the same as social media, because you have to look at them the person in the eyes, and you could see like someone's genuine intention when they're speaking, and like they're really passionate about something. Whereas on Twitter, you just see words, and like oftentimes can put your own intentions into it, depending on how you're feeling that day or whatever. So it just felt really nice to be a part of that experience overall. But I guess I'm kind of like getting a little ahead of myself here.
Well, it's fitting that you open talking about like the the people, such a big benefit of it. And yeah, it's hi Aaron.
Hey.
But I was just saying, like, but yeah, I think we do have it's not a perfect fandom, but it is the best fandom. Like I love whenever there's like a big Star Trek event, and yeah, there's so many fewer bad apples at anything, like you were saying, that's in person as compared to the online experience.
Totally. Aaron, did you get your catnap in?
Kinda. I still feel a little out of it. I don't know. It's just it was a long day yesterday. We ended up walking like 6 miles. I checked. Yeah, I think that's what happened. My adrenaline just kind of ran out at some point. But eating dinner helped.
So Aaron, you would know this, but there's no spoilers. No worries. We were already in the live state. Sorry.
Oh no, I did not know that.
Thank you.
I thought we were going to meet in the green room first. Sorry.
I'll download you real quick on some ground rules that we established in the green room, and I think it'll be helpful for the audience. We're not going to obviously spoil anything. We're going to follow the kind of like general decent thing to do when folks haven't seen something and other folks have early. And we're not going to talk about episode 2 at all to respect Fathery, who hasn't seen episode 2. So we're going to stick to episode 1 feelings. Is that cool?
Yeah,
sure.
I'm fine if you have some reactions,
like little reactions. All right, cool.
If I can remember where the end blurs, because as soon as we saw it as a set.
Excellent. All right, and so then everything else, audience, you can ask us questions. Some things we might not be able to answer, we'll let you know. And then PJ has some questions too, if you guys. And Fathery just like we started talking about it. I now that Aaron's here, I gotta say like it was really cool to meet you in person. I just want to say it like out here, shout it out, because he took me to Doc Brown's house.
Oh yeah, that's
wow.
right. I totally forgot that we did that.
So I
before.
had a Star Trek adventure, but I also got to see Doc Brown's house.
Well,
so
Starfleet Boy, you were going to tell us about just the premiere experience, but do you want to tell us just about your? I don't know how far back you want to go, but like your reaction when you found out you were going, and then like your trip over there, and then hanging out with Aaron.
Oh yeah. So like just so these things kind of like happen in a weird way. Like everyone asks because like all of us here. PJ, did you get an invite to like? Oh, because they don't do it for like international. That's right. But Fathery, you got an invite to the virtual premiere of Picard season 1, right? And you did too, Aaron, right?
No,
it was season 2.
Discovery.
Season 1 was in person. That was the last thing.
No,
that we did before the pandemic.
They did a thing for virtual as well in season 1 because I remember. I think I even have like my pass and everything. Like,
I know it was for 2 because of the pandemic, but not.
There was an in-person thing for sure. You guys were having that experience, yeah. And then some of us got to go to this virtual thing. So I went to that. And the way I got that, by the way, was just like someone nice, like just said, "Hey, Starfleet Boy," like someone random that I don't even know, just said, "Hey, Starfleet Boy, here's a link if you want to go to the virtual premiere, like sign up." And I was like, "Okay, great." And then season 2 was a referral from a friend. I won't say the details in case that friend wants to stay anonymous.
You can say it was me.
Okay, it's Fathery. Fathery got me into season 2, so that was cool. And then this one came in a very clandestine way that I can't really tell a lot of details about, but it was also quite wonderful and unique, and I didn't know what to expect. Like I booked my ticket. Like as soon as I found out I was invited, I booked my ticket. Which, by the way, if any of you guys have an American Express card, there's like a gazillion advantages that they don't even tell you about. And so I was a little frustrated because I couldn't find a place to stay, and I wanted to stay like somewhere like like comfortable because I'm
Palatial?
older. Yeah, well, not well, it's just comfortable because I'm older, right? So I need creature. I'm like Jean-Luc. I need creature comforts. So I found out like through these points, I got this like swanky hotel in Pasadena that's like 100 years old, and it was it was very nice.
So what's all that Chateau Picard stuff?
That's what it looked like to me. So I was just pretending that I was staying.
I didn't know. I was like, is this where they filmed parts of the chateau?
That's why he's wearing the hat. He was LARPing as Jean-Luc Picard. He was LARPing as Admiral Picard.
I was totally LARPing. It's true.
So, did you take pictures of Doc Brown's house?
I did. I let me see if I can pull these things up. But
you
Aaron,
got pictures of all this stuff, though.
Yeah, I got some pictures.
It's good that you recorded it, but
for Sir Patrick Stewart, his security team.
yeah,
by the way,
those two big guys.
Yeah, but they were like no video, and I respected it when he came to us, but then I cheated when he passed us, and I got a shot.
I think everybody was doing that, like,
yeah, it's like
not when you're right there, but afterward.
But I think that was actually inadvertently. Yeah, we had. Oh, that's a look at this. So yeah, like he was signing it. This is Aaron. Someone was saying that that's rare.
Jeff
like he doesn't really. Yeah.
Oh really?
Cool. That he doesn't
we got
usually
3 things signed by him. Whoops.
Yeah, we got 3 things signed. It was pretty cool. Anyways, we're skipping ahead now.
Yes.
So Doc Brown's house. I'll look for Doc Brown's house, and then Aaron, you could tell everyone like your kind of like lead up to the thing. Like, what were you thinking it was going to be like? Because you've done these things before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny because it's like I wasn't super looking forward to going to Man's Chinese just because Hollywood is not what people think it is. It's kind of crappy, and the parking's annoying. It's just like in Los Angeles, it's basically that's a key thing. Like if the parking's bad, then you don't even want to go. But it wasn't that bad. We went early, and it really had the feeling of a much bigger event. It felt like a mini convention or a Star Trek day or something. It was done really well. And so after we were there, I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually could be fun. And then it was like way better than any of the other premieres that I've been to.
Wow, it's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it felt different. I'm not exactly sure how. Maybe because I've met everybody that I've talked to online, or not everybody, but a lot of people in person.
Yeah, you were telling me that. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that to me. That yeah, it felt unlike the previous ones you'd been to.
It's funny, Jesse and I are both, like, oh, you're exactly how I expected you in person. I mean, even though we've literally talked like this forever, sometimes when you meet somebody in person, there's like a different vibe, or their voice sounds different or something. It's like, it was just like she stepped out of the screen and, we're talking, and Sean Farrick too.
Yeah, for some reason when I met Jessie, I thought that she was like, she's tall, but I thought she was like even taller than she is. And I was like, oh, you're just
that was the one thing she said. I was shorter than she expected. But yeah,
yes,
no, we got to do it.
I can confirm you seem taller on camera for some reason.
Well, you guys were on the Trek Culture video.
Yeah, we got to do the ups and downs.
Yeah, that was really
cool.
fun to be a part of. That was really cool. Good. Like, yeah, we were trying so hard not to. We were trying so hard to be like as vague as possible, and it was like kind of. But apparently they got it cleared. So whatever we did right. Did it seem too spoilery to you guys?
No.
Well, the jokes are people in the I broke my own rule of like I'm not gonna respond to the comments, but it's like I'm not gonna read the comments, but I read all the comments in their YouTube channel. A lot of people are just like, what do you mean the Enterprise F is gonna get destroyed? We're like, it was a joke. They're just like Jesse, like also William Shatner doesn't show up. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we were just kidding. But some people didn't.
Oh yeah, we might have like because I think there's so many.
Praised Jerry Ryan's performance. I remember that.
Yeah. And that was like, is that a spoiler that she's in the show? Kind of like, because we were really trying to not say anything that would give anything away. But
it was really hard. It was really hard to like, because you're fresh out of the experience and you're so excited. It's like, you want to share like all that stuff with everyone. Yeah. But so like, but what I will say is that like normally like folks that are like, oh, I don't care about spoilers, like Braxton. Our friend Braxton, he usually doesn't care. He's like, just spoil it for me, my friend.
Yeah.
Like I'm like kind of like no, I kind of don't want to spoil it for you because it's really. I feel like it's just really delightful. All right, I got Doc Brown's house. All right, let me pull it up here. Let's see. All right, so Aaron, do you mind telling folks like what part of town this is in LA and like?
Yeah, this is in. Oh, go ahead.
And I know
Sorry.
it's a Frank Lloyd Wright house, right?
No, that
Oh,
the Frank
that's
Lloyd
not
Wright
okay.
house is the Deep Space Nine house that we didn't go to. This
Cool.
is the Gamble House in Pasadena, which is a museum slash school slash whatever the things are that they do with it. And if you've ever watched the live broadcast of the Rose Bowl, and they're all the people standing in the corner or sitting in bleachers, and the floats are coming around, it's just down the street from that. So it's on a regular main street. And then to the right of that, which you don't see in this picture, is the garage for this that they actually ended up making his home after, I guess he lost all of his money or something. He just ended up living in the garage. Isn't that what happened?
when you're talking-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
When you're
this is
talking
the
about
house from
Doc-
the 50s.
You're talking
Yeah.
about Doc Brown. You mean Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Emmett Brown.
Okay, I was
This is
just,
the house.
just making sure if like there was another Doc Brown out there.
Oh, like a Star
Nope.
Trek Doc
I'm like,
Brown.
'cause-
Sorry, I was like,
Oh no,
or something,
sorry.
or something else. No.
There is
I
not
suspect
far
it's
from
Back to the
here a
Future.
Frank Lloyd Wright house that was used in the episode where all the Klingons got together and to avenge somebody's, like, what is that in Deep Space Nine?
Oh, Blood
Oh,
Oath?
yeah,
Yeah,
Blood
the,
Oath,
the,
yeah.
the albino's compound from
Yeah,
Blood
yeah,
Oath.
yeah. That exactly. Blood
Oh,
Oath. That was
yeah.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that was just down the street from there, but we wanted to make sure that we got there in time, so we didn't do the full tour.
yeah, no.
And they're a little
exactly.
bit picky about like people there because it's a residential home. It's kind of in a little setback, and they do not like people even like slowing down by their house practically. So
Oh, Father, you already met Sean. That's right. And at STLV,
Oh.
that's right.
Yeah, very,
Sean.
very, very briefly. But yeah, he was at the Gaze in Space table in Vegas, and
Oh, cool. We saw Randy also at the event.
Randy
That
Frank.
was cool. Yeah, but he's not with Gaze in Space. Sorry, Randy. Forgive me. He's Lambda Project. And Nikki Rapace was there too. She's cool. There were so many people that went to Chicago. It felt like seeing a lot of folks from Chicago there. So Aaron, in a way, since you didn't get to go to Chicago, you kind of got a taste of it. And
Yeah.
Tawny Newsome showed up, and
Oh,
she
yeah,
got
that was
everyone
great.
to scream Lower Decks. Yeah,
that was great.
which was pretty cool. And her dress was fire. I got to show the fashion of the red carpet or the blue carpet as was.
Just a detour for a second. They
Yeah.
they let us buy because I'm going on the Star Trek cruise in like 2 weeks, and today they sold they do like these celebrity events every year on board, and it's kind of a mad dash to like book those because there's only so many slots available for like different things, but like they were doing like a drink and draw thing with Tawny Newsome, which I have no artistic ability. I can't draw
You
a smiley
should just
face.
do it anyways. She said
I
it
am
would-
doing
would
it
be
anyways.
fun.
Yeah, I got
cool.
that book just because I don't know. I'm kind of she's like I think I would get kind of starstruck to talk to her because I have such a massive crush on her. But I think it'll be fun just because she's so hilarious in person.
I was starstruck a lot. I was starstruck by Michelle Hurd. I was starstruck by Todd Stashwick. I don't know if you guys could hear it. Did you guys hear there's one with me talking to him. I'm like, I first got introduced to you in 12 Monkeys and I love your
I don't know
work."
if I saw
And it's
that.
like- yeah,
I love that he was just signing. It's like my ship, my
Yeah,
ship.
it's so
He kept
cool.
signing it.
That
on
was
top
really
of-
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I can't have
So-
Patrick Stewart signing there.
That's obviously not a spoiler if you've seen the trailer. Todd Stashwick plays the captain of the Titan. Can we, Aaron and Father? What do you think is safe to say about the Titan? Because I want to give reverence to the Titan. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, we've seen it.
Oh,
We've
okay,
seen
got
it.
it. Oh,
It's in the trailers.
Roger, check.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was in the private chat.
Oh.
No, but like, yeah, I want to give some reverence to because I think it's different when you finally see her, like.
Yeah, I mean,
full.
I know some
You get
people
little
are like,
glimpses.
it's kind of weird because like the Neo Constitution or whatever,
Right.
like the design, and I know they've talked about it online, and it's sort of you get bits and pieces in it until you actually kind of see it fly around and do. It's like, oh, okay, I get the entirety of the design, and this actually flows really nicely.
It
because
flows really, yeah.
because it does feel a little odd at first.
The more I see it, and a lot of the new ships, that's fairly common. Be like, oh, that's a little weird. But then after you see it in motion a little bit, and it's like, oh, okay.
I used to see the Shangri-La, the design, the model builder, and he does
Krause,
professional work
right?
with Bill Krause, Admiral Buck on Twitter. He's awesome. Anyways, he has a really cool Twitter feed where he just shares his whole process of model building.
He actually builds physical models, right? We're not talking like
models,
CGI
exactly,
models.
Yeah.
He's building a physical object you can hold in your hand, and that's how he designs his ships.
And I really appreciate. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Before we dive really deep, did you hear about Katie, the meteorologist, Katie Nicole?
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah,
what happened?
she got into a major car accident on the way out of the premiere. Her car flipped over.
She's okay. She's okay though. So
she's okay. She's going back, but she like dislocated her shoulder and stuff. But the fact that she's survived the picture of this car is just crazy. So just want to send good thoughts out to her. And Ryan Tusk took her to the hospital.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Well, I'm glad he was there, but I saw that picture and my immediate thought was like, oh my god, that looks terrible. Someone must have died. That's a disaster.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea that happened.
So I just want to, put out some good thoughts for her.
Good thoughts to you. I actually follow her and I like her posts, so I gotta.
Oh yeah, so do I.
She's feeling better.
I have a friend named Kate who looks like almost exactly like her and sounds the same. And I had to the first time I saw her, I'm like, is that? Oh no, it's not. But that's really close. So
I saw her at Vegas last year, and she was cosplaying as Janeway from the episode Macrocosm. Macrocosm. That's a hard word to remember how to say, but she was Janeway in like the gray tank top and had a little plushy macro virus on like a little great. like wire like connecting to her, so it was like kind of like hovering behind her.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the only time I've ever seen her. I just said like, "Hi, can I get a picture with you?" I didn't even know. I didn't even recognize who she was. And then like later, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's meteorologist Katie online." But yeah, she's very sweet and very nice, and had like really cool cosplay. So I'm sorry that she had to go through that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we were very careful when we were driving back. It's like too many crazy people on the road.
Yeah, it's scary actually. LA is like a really wild experience sometimes. You were a good driver,
thank you,
Aaron. But like
that's one of the reasons I wanted to leave when we did, because I was getting so tired. I'm like, I'm not going to be a good driver if I don't get home.
That reminds me.
We did drive by Starfleet Academy at night. So that was kind of fun.
Sorry to go on
I'll
this
be
tangent.
in LA soon, so
I swear we'll get right back to
to
the premiere. But Ethan Peck actually got into a bad accident. I heard about it on the Well podcast.
Oh no!
I think.
Yikes!
I think it was the Well podcast. Like no, before he worked on Star Trek, like a while ago, it was a motorcycle accident, and he was very fortunate to have survived it. Yeah,
I think I heard about that. Okay.
Yeah, and then
yes,
I just want to say
premiere.
one thing. This is a spoiler, but I think it's really okay to spoil this.
You sure?
What?
I'm 100% sure it's okay because we're talking about people who died. So the whole thing was dedicated to Annie Wershing, which was nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler.
Okay, good. Okay.
You're making me and Aaron nervous. We were like,
I know, like, where's the button that you like? He disappeared. Oh, no.
Where's the button to eject?
We want to be invited to these things again.
Don't worry. There's always a handler nearby who will let you know.
Seems like
it. It was actually a really, in some ways, it was a very free form event, but in other ways, it was actually pretty organized too, which I was very impressed at. So it felt just correct.
You tried to leave your area, you were stopped by big crabby security people.
Yeah, you were well. Also because it's odd because they closed off. Is that Hollywood Boulevard? What street is that in front? Right, Hollywood. So they actually closed off one lane one direction of Hollywood Boulevard completely, and there was this like cool tent there. So
that's where all
people.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's where all the press stuff was happening. So like, have you guys seen any of the video packages they put out since the event, like the 21-minute Will Wheaton hosted package?
No, I have. What is that like a Paramount Plus thing? If it's Will Wheaton doing it.
Yeah. Hey, Joanne Robertson's in the audience. Hey,
hi,
by the way, Joanne, ask us anything. So we won't. We'll intentionally not.
We won't
talk
answer.
About, we'll intentionally not talk about things that we think you shouldn't know about. But feel free to ask anything about the event, the premiere. We're kind of all over the place.
The drinks.
So Fathery's trying to keep us on track though, so yes. That's nice of Fathery. And I'm flashing pictures of the cast randomly for no reason.
I love that jacket.
How great do they look? I mean, like
yeah.
For
can I play my TikTok? Should I play my TikTok?
Even my knockoff uniform actually looks pretty good.
They do look great. I want this leather jacket right here.
Yeah. Any of the jackets that the dudes are wearing, I totally want.
LeVar looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like for a cast who's like all in their like 80s and 70s, like they really
it's so weird to think like it's just like
80s and 70s.
Do y'all remember when Star Trek 6 like the big joke was like these people are way too old to be in this movie?
The Simpsons did a joke about that. The Simpsons,
yeah, so very tired or something like that.
They were like most of them were like early 60s in that. It's like people, but I mean like I guess like 73 isn't as old as it used to be.
It's not actually.
It's like Star Trek.
Yeah. People love geriatric action.
Marina's 67.
When old people
I have to say,
ass.
since you brought that up, I will just say that like the action that is in the episodes does not feel unrealistic. It like does feel like they're you have to go a little. You have to get. First of all, they're in great shape for their ages, and remember, in world, like people live a little longer, so they're actually more like
people live much longer.
Yeah, much longer actually.
I won't spoil the clip, but TV Line did a review on YouTube, and it's a clip you can't find anywhere else. It's of Picard and Riker getting ready, and they're talking about their joints aching and their knees or something. And
I wasn't going to say
that. As long as we don't, yeah, it's that's just a part of what the joke is, but like they're cracking jokes in the time of like great tension, you know what I mean? So I like that stuff,
like actual Star Trek.
Yeah, but like you need that balance of like the 90s action Trek, which like people rag on Generations, and some people like now piss all over fucking First Contact for some reason. I'm like, that's like really? Next to Khan, that's the best one out of the like TOS is the Khan and TNG, the other films aren't great. Like First Contact, I think is the only really good one, but still, I have an affection for Insurrection and all that stuff. I just want the spirit of that cast together again, and like, I know it's like nostalgia bait, and it's like member berries as they say, but done well. I don't need a compelling, like mind-blowing, mind-altering story. I just need some good, compelling like plot lines and twists and turns, and I like good stuff. I've heard that the season is Star Trek's greatest hits, basically.
It was. I don't
know. I've only seen 2 episodes.
I'm so hype.
I think it was Aaron Waltke that we were talking. It was like basically, it's like we'd rather have a nostalgia show or a well-written show that isn't like new as in breaking ground than a groundbreaking show that's just kind of written poorly. So
yeah,
it's like I'll take the member berries over the the burn. Let's put it that way.
It can work.
Kika's Eternal is joining us all the way from the other side of the quadrant. So welcome.
Hi, Cake.
Thank you.
It was
nice.
Glad to see you back in the Text Trek audience tonight. So I hope you're doing well after your travels.
Joanne has a question about the event. Was the entire cast there? Sorry if this was asked. So we saw, let's count him. I don't think Brent Spiner was at the event. That's the only person.
And
Aaron, images and we can see.
Aaron, you didn't get to see true. Brent. He's like your favorite.
I know. But I did see Will. My other
Will
favorite.
Wheaton. Who else wasn't there? Marina Sirtis was not there, as far as I could tell.
She moved
Michael
back to England,
No, she,
right?
I think she,
Yeah,
oh.
she did move back to England. And then Michael Dorn was there, but he didn't walk through and like kind of mingle and like, stick around.
He
or
waved,
anything
he
like
walked
that.
past
He did
us.
wave. And and that's awesome because like we live in a time right now like where you need to like just like kind of like, actors for whatever reason might not want to like expose themselves to the potential of getting sick. COVID is still very much around, although the numbers in LA seem to be under control from what I heard.
It's the
so
only
that's
reason
good.
I went. Like, hopefully I will still stay well.
Yeah, and it was a tough thing. Like, I feel very conscious about it, so I like to wear a mask, but sometimes you just forget to wear your mask now because it's like it's easy to forget, It's a like that's a but
When
so
everybody's
I think,
wearing it, it's a lot easier.
so like no one cares if like an actor is not going to come out. So that's why it was especially meaningful, I think, that so many folks did come out and like sign and hang out and stuff like that. It was wild. Like I feel like that part of it, Joanne, was just like it felt like I was not like it felt like how outside of my body watching it like in a weird way. Like it felt like so I was just so happy. It was cool.
Yeah, no Brent, no Marina.
The thing that they put out, it's like 21 minutes with Will Wheaton. I started to watch it. I haven't finished watching it yet because I wanted to get online. I didn't want to like I was watching it on the airplane also, and it was cutting out and stuff, and I was trying to watch Text Trek as well, and so there was a lot going on.
Were you watching us on your flight?
Yeah, I was watching y'all on my flight for a little bit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was cool. So I feel like I've joined the Text Trek Mile High Club.
I was gonna say something.
I don't know if that's the best name for it, but sure.
But anyways, this thing feels the way that they do this like really nice montage of scenes from the Next Generation from the show, and it started to like really like I had to stop watching it because it got me like really emotional. And I didn't want to like cry in front of all these strangers on the airplane or like start sobbing because it would just like I think it'd be jarring. so I just kind of like switched, but I did see that Will Wheaton was hosting it and he was and he was talking to Patrick Stewart. Oh cool, thanks for sending this link. I'm gonna post this picture up. So he was talking to Patrick Stewart and Gates McFadden, so I'm looking forward to going back to watch that. It's on the official Star Trek website.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Look at this, guys. So
that was the group from the show.
So do y'all want to go through this like left to right?
Yeah, I can't zoom in. Oh, there we go. All right.
There you go.
All right, on the left we have LeVar Burton.
Looking great in that hat. I like that hat.
It is. He has a great look, and he's very like cool. Like he was very like I don't know. There's LeVar Burton just like seems very cool.
We're gonna do like
very
fashion.
smooth.
We're gonna do
Smooth.
fashion stuff. Like
now we can do the fashion.
What was Jonathan Frakes wearing on the red carpet, on the blue carpet? Like,
he told us that the tie.
A tie. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Jonathan Frakes like really spent time just hanging out. It felt like, and like by the way, what this all happens in like a minute. So hanging out means maybe like 2 seconds more than someone, like or 5 seconds more.
You get this feeling though that if they didn't have to be rushed in, that they actually would hang out more because they, especially like the new bridge crew, they seem to really be having a fun time.
Yeah, this is new to them.
Us.
This is awesome. If you're like a young actor, you're in one of the most valuable intellectual properties in the world. You can go to conventions the rest of your life. A bunch of crazy people are gonna love you and want to hug you and shake your hand forever, and you're stuck with that.
Yeah. Terry Metalla's son actually did come around and shake everyone's hand, which was really interesting.
Oh yeah, I was so impressed. It was a very it felt like some of the. I think Jerry Ryan maybe brought her family too, and
I think so.
Terry Metalis brought his family, so it was like really nice. It wasn't like it was a very okay. Sorry, I'm gonna like put my thing on here. It was a very casual and informal, but very fancy and glamorous premiere. Like it was cool.
It's family. It's the Star Trek family, and it
It
really
had a
that family feel.
It really did. Yeah, it totally did.
We are the best.
It didn't feel like
in the world.
anybody was more important than anybody else. I mean, even though I think they treated Patrick Stewart that way externally, but I think everybody inside, it felt very level as far as like you could go up to anybody and talk with them.
Yeah, that gang, that TNG crew, that like they're just all like they're in each other's weddings and stuff when they get married. Like they really are like that good of, the original series actors didn't get along. We all know about the drama and stuff over the years, but in the movies and stuff, they
still don't.
They pretend, they act like they like each other. Like Scotty acts like he respects Admiral Kirk in Star Trek 2. Behind the scenes, it was a different story. The TNG actors in real life actually seem to love each other as much as the original series actors pretended to be as their characters.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. You see their camaraderie and everything like that. So LeVar Burton, I don't know what he's wearing, so I can't get like really. I was trying to look it up on the internet, like to see like if we could find out like what his outfit was, and maybe that information's out there, but like Starfleet Boy is not finding it right now. And I'm trying to get the names of all the actors because I'm still not.
I think I've seen Jerry Ryan in that dress before.
Picard.
It feels very familiar.
3 bridge crew. Oh, there were also like a lot of people that we didn't know exactly who they were, Fathery and audience listening and watching, but they seem to be like very like celebrity fans of Star Trek, which was cool. So they like and also
the bridge crew of the Titan were there.
Yeah, and that's who I'm trying to find. I just don't want to get the actors' names.
And
wrong.
the person that we thought was a wrestler is a wrestler, Cody Rhodes. And I totally forgot that at one point we followed each other, and I can still message him. So
is Cody Rhodes in Picard 3? Do you know?
No, but he was there for the premiere. I don't think he's.
Here we go. I got it.
3, is he?
I don't know. I didn't. I like tried to see if I could recognize folks. Like in some.
I know he wanted to be a Klingon in Axanar, way back.
Oh, right on.
Were there
Axanar.
any?
Oh, okay.
Were there any Trek actors
just
from?
Not, yeah.
Were there any Trek actors from other shows, like any like TOS or DS9 or Voyager people, Discovery people? You said Tawny Newsome.
Well, there was
there.
Tawny Newsome.
Tawny Newsome was there, and I'm trying to think, who else did we see there? Jerry O'Connell was doing Magic Mike. It looks like.
Well, Hugh.
So he wasn't.
I mean,
Jonathan Del Arco was there.
Because him and
he
Jerry
signed our
are
poster.
BFFs.
He signed our poster. Yeah, that's right. They do a podcast. Like he does a great podcast. I don't think he's doing it right now, but he was cool. I got to have a moment with him that was cool. I also kind of was starstruck by him and flubbed my what I was hearing in my mind didn't come out of my mouth, so that was weird. But he's
not listed as being in Star Trek, but that doesn't always mean anything if they want to keep it a surprise until.
But I really think he was. See, that's the other thing.
I think he's just a fan.
And not just that. Like he's part of. I feel like Star Trek Picard season 3, and I don't want to. I'm gonna stay away from spoilers, but I will say this: like, it will surprise you in the sense that it feels like the writers' room really did understand what was good from previous seasons. Is all I'll say. Is that vague enough, but also encouraging?
Yeah, that's the type of stuff you can talk about.
Yeah, so yeah, that's fine. All right, so moving on.
They were smartly dressed. They spoke well. Oh no, sorry.
Michelle Hurd, awesome. She was jumping around.
That's something we can say that is not a spoiler because it's just what happened. At one point during the preview,
awesome,
the audio just cut out. And it was when she was on screen talking.
And she read the lines.
So she stood up and she started doing the lines. Yeah. It's like, wait. I know this. Of course, no one else beyond like 6 rows could really hear her. But yeah.
That's great.
It was
great. They shot that
they
like
came
a
back
year
relatively
ago.
quickly.
She remembered it from a year ago. That's impressive, actually.
Maybe they watched it before they came.
So
half
going
of
to the
America
bridge
has
crew,
seen the first 6 episodes.
We're missing 2 members of the bridge crew in this picture. So the only member of the bridge crew in this picture is Ashley Sharp Chestnut, and she plays Sydney LaForge. So
who's the woman next in between her and Captain Shaw?
I believe that's Mika Burton.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
Mika Burton.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's another
The real daughter.
LaForge.
Yep.
But I think she's
Yes,
also on the show, isn't she?
She's also on the
Yeah.
show playing Alondra LaForge. Is that the name of the character,
Something like
Alondra?
that. Yeah.
I believe so.
We can tell people
Yeah.
Sydney's nickname, right? That's Terry. Terry released that when he was
Oh, did she?
describing
Or did he?
the Titan Bridge
Do
characters.
we want to say that? If you haven't seen it, then
You could say
be
it, Father,
surprised.
because like Father wasn't
Yeah.
there, so he could say it. Yeah, you
That's
could
true.
say it.
We can't.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
Her nickname is Crash. They call her Crash LaForge. she's the pilot.
Wow.
We will not confirm or deny it, but I guess Terry Metalis already
That'd be a great motivation to be the greatest pilot ever.
We can't say anything about her because I don't want to spoil her scenes. They're really good. That's all I'll say. I'll just say they're really good. Yeah.
This is not a spoiler because they've said that this season's going to be like a passing of the torch to the next generation.
I hope
if they're ever going to do a continuation of Picard in a non-Picard form.
Yeah.
Where Patrick Stewart could possibly show up, maybe. But it's not guaranteed. Anyone, yeah, literally anyone in like DS9 Voyager characters. We need a show like that to continue.
I can't
on.
wait till it airs officially because we can start talking about this stuff because there's a lot of like interesting things that like I'm already seeing in just the first 2 episodes. I'm like,
that could be a show.
Yeah, yeah, which everyone does that, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of cool things presented. Let's see. Joanne's asking, let's see. Did they comment on how successful they thought they were styled, though? I don't know if that stuff is going to come out. Jackie Cox was there. She might do. They might do some kind of fashion like presentation or something like that. I have to say, just personally, Sir Patrick Stewart's outfit is super awesome, and it's reminiscent of the Next Doctor on Doctor Who. Those oranges and those browns.
Oh yeah, similar color
interesting.
scheme.
And now I'm thinking to myself, like, can Patrick Stewart just play another Doctor Who? Like, I would super.
It's possible.
Like, I feel like Sir Patrick Stewart should play Doctor Who.
They
That
got
should be,
Disney
like,
money
his thing.
now. They got.
But he can't run, I don't think, at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And Doctor Who is required to run a lot.
That's
I think he's going to
that's a
come back
new
as
thing.
Xavier though in Deadpool 3.
Ooh, that'll be exciting. So then next to him is Gates McFadden. Loved her outfit. She was so gracious. She also like spent time, talking to folks and stuff like that. So that was really nice. And she was just. I have a clip of her saying, "I love you all so much," and I was so happy to get that little bit. She was really cool. I have to say that there's a moment, and I'm gonna be super vague. I'm not gonna say what episode it's from or anything. I'm just saying. Gates McFadden has said that she really liked the material she was given, and it gave her the opportunity to like take Dr. Crusher to a new place, and you can already see that reflected in her performance a little bit. So I'm just gonna say that. That's it.
I mean, they gave her so much great material, not only in the shows, but I think all 4 of those TNG movies were just packed with great Crusher moments, right? So I'm surprised she still has an appetite for more. But
There was literally more Beverly Crusher in the Frankenstein play that she did for our Sci-Fest than in the regular show. I'm losing my voice. I apologize. We were screaming and talking a lot yesterday.
Crusher's good moments were far and few between in TNG though. Like they didn't give her a hell of a lot. Although I did watch Disaster today, and that scene with her and Geordi have to decompress the shuttle bay. It was pretty cool.
I also, what was it? Not Clues, but the one where she was basically trying to figure out what happened to the scientist. There's the Ferengi scientist.
I think it is, or no, not that's
No,
the
it
one
wasn't.
with Data.
But it's like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Let's see. I'll try to find it.
Oh, Cake says our friend Ian that he's someone I recently met on Twitter, and then we met him in real life. LA is interesting because there's a lot of like cool Trekkies. There's like a league or like a club, I think, of Trekkies.
LAOA team.
The LAOA team, and I'm so bummed because I didn't make the connection because I was like just kind of not thinking. But there were like there's a lot of folks like Starfleet Miguel, who's really cool, and I didn't get to meet him, and I didn't really realize that he was there, and I would have loved to have met him.
I think he was behind us.
Oh, that really sucks that I didn't see him or notice him because
that episode was Suspicions. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jinx. So yeah, there were a lot of folks, but I did get to meet Starfleet Mom, who's really cool, and I've been following her since I first joined Twitter, like on Star Trek Twitter. That is, I've been on Twitter for like a long time. Her name's Christine.
We found her car first.
Yeah, we did find her card. And of course, like the folks we hung out with in Chicago, Father, we were there, like Jesse Gender. And who else was there from Chicago? I'm trying to think. Oh, I already mentioned, Randy.
Matt was
Nikki.
there. Did you see him?
Did we see Matt?
Matt who?
How do you say his last name? Like Simone? It's like Cimone.
I didn't see him.
From Toronto.
If I know that.
Yeah. Oh man, I should have like tried to look him up too. But you know, like
Simone.
It was a huge theater, by the way. There was like what? Aaron, would you think there was like 500 people in that theater at least, or how many? Like 400 people.
I mean, it was packed, right? Like 100%.
It was 100%. Like, there was no. I didn't see it.
Okay, so
in the house.
I'll figure out how many seats. I'll look it up.
Oh, okay, but it was a big theater. It was the. It felt
it's the
nice.
IMAX.
Like,
it's the main one that they remodeled.
And it was a laser projection too, which was pretty cool. And also the sound was just superb. It looks like. Oh, go ahead, Father.
932 people.
You're muted.
Is that a?
No,
sorry. I got real excited. You talk about the size of the screen because I remembered some of the gorgeous ship footage that is in that first episode.
Yes.
I'm sure that was just amazing eye candy on an IMAX screen.
And then we had the exact reverse when we went back to Sean's hotel and tried to watch something on a laptop. That did not work. It was just like, this is the crappiest screen ever.
We were saying
932 people.
Yeah, 900. So there's like almost 1,000 people there. That felt like it though.
Yeah.
It felt that big.
Yeah.
It was. Dang.
It's all the people that other person invited that they probably shouldn't have.
It had the ship complement of a Galaxy class, 1,000 people. That's
Holy
counting like
shit,
the families and the bartenders and everyone else.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy! I want to be a bartender in that thing.
You want to be the Guinan?
I want to be, or like the guy from Lower
the Starship
Decks,
Man's Chinese.
You'd be a good bartender.
What's that?
You
I would
have
be,
good
right?
people skills. Yeah, you're very, very sociable.
I also make a mean drink. I had a great drink at the MX.
You'd make some strong ass drinks.
Yes, I do.
You'd get them tips.
We should
though.
have. What's that?
You'd get them tips, right?
I hope
The
so.
strong drinks.
That's what you live off of when you're a bartender. It's hard. It's hard for bartenders. Cake says Todd Stashwick posted his stylus and all the brands he was wearing. Ooh, let's see. Let's see if we can find that. Let's get a scoop on Todd Stashwick's outfit. He posted it. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Oh,
Terry-
I'm
Terry
having so many
Metalis.
problems with Twitter. What's that?
I was going to say Terry Metalis made a joke about he had a picture of Jonathan Frakes and Todd Stashwick talking about how they'll be crushed by rocks in the first act of the first episode because people have predicted that both Todd Stashwick and Riker will die, and I'm one of those people.
Did you see the thing where there's like, it won't be rocks, and they had like foam, like they've literally done pieces of like machinery and stuff made out of foam, so when it falls, it does not look like rocks.
He's very tall. He looks as tall as Michael Dorn and Jonathan Frakes, and they're both pretty big dudes.
Downton Abbey, I wonder what
much
his
taller than I
character's all about.
expected. He's
What's
a
that?
time traveler from Downton Abbey.
So he's like Picard from the past because he does look. You could sell him as like either the son of or a younger Patrick Stewart if like he was a bit shorter maybe, but you know, I don't believe that theory that he's the son somehow. I think he's just like a secret bad guy that we're gonna think he's good for like a good few episodes, and then it's like nope, he's secretly the son of Vatic, and she's gonna be like, "Hello, mother," and she's gonna be, "Hello, son." It's like one of those things.
Well, here we go. Here's
Talking
here's
out my
Todd
ass, by the way.
Sashwick. On the,
Wow, he's tall, or that she's
he
short.
is a tall man, and
It's a little both.
he's wearing the jacket is by Paisley and Gray. The top is the real, I think it's
Tuvix.
the real Tuvix.
That's what I thought when I saw that too.
The tux pant was also Paisley and Gray. The shoes were Scaroso. The bracelets, I didn't notice the bracelets, are Ice Link official. So we'll check it. And then the watch was made by McKinnon Watches.
So if you have lots of money, go and buy all that. Todd Stashwick.
A lot of times these things are loaned out to celebrities for events like this. So
they have to
give them back. Yeah, they have to give.
They got to look good if they're going to premiere. Todd Stashwick, I didn't realize, was in the Seinfeld season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He played the head of NBC. I watched it, didn't even know, like recently. And I'm like, that guy kind of looked like, is that him? And I'm like, sure enough, it was.
He was on Enterprise too.
I've seen him before, and I didn't realize for the longest time. I just thought he was new. Like I haven't seen him before. I didn't watch 12 Monkeys, so
he was
Paisley and Gray. The suits are actually like $275, which isn't like.
Oh, sorry, you're absolutely right. He is on Enterprise, so I discovered that recently. So you're absolutely right. He posted about it. He said,
"Did he play an alien?"
He played. Yeah, I forgot the episode, but he plays a Vulcan.
He was a Romulan disguised as a Vulcan.
As a Vulcan, that's what it was.
It's that scene where like the big Vulcan trilogy, and it shows like like the Romulans were behind it.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Kershara, that's what it's called, right? Kershara.
Well, there's a trilogy. There is the Forge. I'm sure.
But
Aaron
the episode he's
one.
in, I think the episode he's in is Kershara.
So whichever the third one was. But a lot of good TAS references in that episode.
Oh, where'd the picture go of the? Here, let me open it again.
I need to step out for just a second, so.
All right.
I don't know how this works.
You can just mute your. Oh, look! There's Sir Patrick Stewart.
Like I hope Worf gets his dues. I hope they give him something juicy. Oh, that's a great picture. Looks like you, Starfleet boy. That guy in the background.
Looks like the Andorian antennae are coming out of Patrick Stewart.
They made it into a video, the Andorians. They were cool. They were standing behind us. And one of them was shorter, and so I felt bad for them, for that Andorian, but I tried my best not to like raise my hand too high or anything, like, or anything. But there's sometimes where I'm sure I was just like lost in my emotions.
Is it me, or does that Vulcan look like Sam Neill?
Oh
yeah. Kinda, yeah.
He was really cool. He's like the Vulcan.
He was funny.
He said he was an ambassador for Vulcan, and he does look like. Now I'll never unsee the Sam Neill.
Was he rude and dismissive like a real Vulcan?
He was like very good. He was kind of LARPing, but then he would break character to talk to us. But he did have a little LARP going on as well. I was not in character. I was just myself, but I was dressed in the uniform.
Like, I can't believe Worf is back. That like blows. I never thought it would happen. I never thought a TNG reunion. I don't know. It's not a reunion, but it is.
Patrick Stewart was getting mad when people called it that.
It's not a reunion. Shut up.
When was this? 2012. That was the 25th anniversary of TNG. Yeah, the Wizard World did a convention here in Austin, and they were able to book all of the TNG casts. So they had the big seven, and then Will Wheaton, and one of the things that came up like during that panel. This was 2012. Like Star Trek Into Darkness hadn't even come out yet, but the only thing going on was the Kelvin movies. And I just remember like the Q&A panel. Someone asked like, "Is there ever any possibility that we'll ever see like the TNG cast together again in anything?" And some of the actors like they were kind of like perplexed by that. They're like, "No, like we're done. We're done. Like Nemesis is it. We're not doing this again." And yeah, and I remember just hearing that and thinking, I was like, "Yeah, I don't see a future where Paramount decides to do anything with with the TNG cast. They're focused on the J.J. Abrams stuff right now, and just it's insane to me how just 10 years later it's like, oh yeah, anyone can show up. Who knows? We might see like a Tuvok and Hoshi from Enterprise and all kinds of people might show up again. Like.
Eric's from the animated series.
Yeah, I mean it's very possible we see him in something.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, that's you can animate him. Yeah, he could be in Strange New Worlds.
It's such a different world now than it was just 10 years ago.
It is. It's true. Joel says Patrick Stewart should play another Gallifreyan like Timothy Dalton.
Oh, that would be good.
He could play the Mad Monk, the meddling monk. I mean, he could be the meddling monk.
He could be the master. No. He could be Omega.
Oh no, he could be Sutek.
Remember when he was King Arthur in Robin Hood Men in Tights? Am I correct in seeing that?
Yes.
Is that a false memory?
No, you're correct.
It almost seems like Sinbad and Kazam, where it's like not real, but he
Richard the Lionhearted.
That was Richard Lionheart, not Arthur.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was great in that. That was funny when and there's a like popular meme of whatever him winking or something like that. We already said that Brent Spiner was not there, but look at not Dana. Look at Lore.
Lore.
I think one of the things we can say about it with no spoilers is that it's well paced.
Yes.
Just when you're kind of like, okay, we don't need to see more of this scene. It transitions. Yeah. It feels very natural. Like it goes to the next thing when it needs to.
I noticed that too. I remember like making a mental note of It really balances, it's like kind of like that modern snappiness, flashiness, but it doesn't feel like rushed. It still kind of feels like that traditional like Star Trek, like, we're going to sit and like spell it out, talk it out, whatever. It still had that kind of vibe, but with like a very modern pace.
Yeah, and there's not like you're not bouncing between, even within one scene, you're not like, it lets you get your bearings and like, oh, okay. That's what the bridge looks like. That's what this looks like. That was nice. Sure.
And everything like
it's hard to talk about something that isn't a spoiler. So I'm like, I guess that will work.
Talk about the L cars. Like man, like it was.
That's amazing.
Leaps and bounds better than. Like it's hard to describe. Like when you see it in motion, like it looks like those are like the real traditional Okudagram graphics from the 80s and 90s.
He consulted and worked. He worked on it. And by the way, that was another delightful thing. Actually, we'll backtrack a little bit. Is that we met a lot of the people who worked on the behind the scenes stuff, but also like Trek luminaries from the past. Like I think you guys saw that picture of Bijo. Well, I'll try to find it, but Bijo Trumbull. Mm-hmm. So we found her, and she was hanging out with John Eves. And who else, Aaron? There was.
I don't know. Oh, who else? There was another. Somebody had like
Doug Drexler was there.
I saw
too.
him, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I got to talk to Michael Okuda and Denise Okuda real quick. That's nice. It was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was sharing the story of when we were at the Star Trek the Motion Picture showing, not the new one that came out, but like the anniversary that was like 5 years before that, and it was the last 35 millimeter print. And we saw it at the Egyptian, and it was horrible. It was like a really bad print, but they came in and they're like, "Hi, we're here. Okay, we're leaving." Basically, I'm like, because they were writing the Star Trek encyclopedia, and it was because I was like, "Hey, stay, hang on." We were trying to talk to them, and then when I was writing my book, and she's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "No, I gotta go because I gotta finish this thing." She's like, "Now you know how I feel." So we get to share that the pressure to get stuff done.
Jerry Ryan really impressed me more than like I was really a fan of 7 of 9 from Picard. Like I it's so weird. I got to know 7 of 9 in Picard before I got to know 7 of 9 in Voyager. So I went like in a weird order, but I already liked her in Picard. I already liked 7 as a Ranger and like all that, like, so. But now that I've seen Voyager, and now that it's wild, like, to see what Jerry's doing with her with her character that she owns and like delivers beautifully on. I love 7. And Jesse Gender, if you guys saw the ups and downs, touched on like why it's important certain things. Oh, excuse me. My voice is also going. We might not stream much longer, but I want to show some of my pictures too. But when she came to sign, she was awesome too. She stopped and like just had a little moment with every single person. Like she would smile at you and like she signed our posters and stuff like that too. She was super cool. I tried to get her to sign. Aaron was very gracious. He gave me the version that has her signature on it because she only signed one of ours. So that was very nice. Thank you, Aaron. And
she used to work with my neighbor on
for $10,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know if her signatures were that much yet.
No, we got all of their signatures. We have Sir Patrick's. I would never sell it, by the way.
I think the game is like figure out who the hell actually signed it when you get back because it's like they're all like
Sir Patrick
Stewart.
The funniest thing was Sir Patrick Stewart signed on his head, which is on all of them. He was signing in the same place. Jonathan Frakes was signing on the Titan or on his head. Like it was like random. And I forget whether it's yours or mine, but Todd Stashwick actually commented. He's like, "Oh look, Frakes is signing on my ship." Like he was like, it was like really funny. And so he was like, that was the other thing. Is like you could sense that they like the new cast. Well, Todd Stashwick, we already know he was on Enterprise, but just like he hadn't worked, I guess, with Jonathan Frakes in this show before. You know, this was the first time, but they all look like they had such a ball that they're like close. And also about Jonathan Frakes, I just got the impression since now that he's so involved with directing on like all the shows, like he is like that elder statesman that like everyone just like loves. You could see like all the actors just like gravitating around him, like making jabs and jokes. They were like, they did a lot of rapport with Jonathan Frakes. And by the way, I think I've said this before, but it's worth reiterating that he just crushes his stuff. Like he's so good. He's so goddamn good as Riker. Like it just makes me smile thinking of him in that first episode. You know,
I was also really glad to see Rafi back and just the way she owned that character, and that was a lot of cool stuff there.
That was my favorite part of the first episode. Is the Rafi stuff.
Yeah, it was nice because it's like, oh, that's not a legacy character, so we still are doing things with new people. And...
Right.
We heard from there's folks of course who've seen all 6 episodes, as we know, and I love that. I
could, but like I'm choosing not to do that because like that's not fun.
I don't want to do it any like so. Okay,
you can't talk to people then.
If I get screeners, I can't do it. But if someone sends me screeners, like if they were to do them regimentally, where they sent them the week before, I would love that because I could deal with like a week before. But if someone sent me like the whole 6, I couldn't stop myself. The show is insanely like good at like building that desire. Father, you're like one of the strongest. You're like I'm Picard right now in like First Contact. You're one of the strongest. And bravest men I know, because I don't know how you too, Aaron, because you're holding back too. You're really disciplined as well. Like I couldn't do it.
I held back fast forwarding through 6 episodes of Lower Deck season 3 to get to the return to Deep Space Nine, which was something I'd been waiting 23 years to do. So like if I could hold back on that, then yeah, I can
so do the screeners
now.
When you watch them, do they have like your name in like watermarked over the thing?
They used to do that, but the last couple ones haven't. They just say Paramount.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they just got tired of doing that or what.
I think what's because like not for Star Trek but for other stuff, like sometimes I'll like friends will be like, oh, I found this rip of blah blah blah, but Star Trek's been pretty good. Right. I don't hear a lot about Star Trek like where you find them on torrents or whatever, you know, like
there were 3 unfinished episodes of Game of Thrones at one point, I remember. And somebody did a video on it of it talking about how like later when the episodes actually aired, how like they were different, like they like certain events didn't happen, like they changed it up, and like it's crazy how much they would change like 3 episodes. from like the leaked version and then like the actual version.
So
It's not
Amanda
all
Plummer
different,
was
but-
there, but we didn't see her. Did you see her, Aaron?
I didn't see her in
Sorry?
any pictures.
Amanda Plummer, Vatic.
I haven't
Yeah, she
seen
was
any
there, but I
pictures.
didn't see. There's a couple
Yeah.
pictures on like Getty. I can find that, but I don't know if she just came and went or she only came maybe for the after party.
Oh, and by the way, David Livingston was photographing the event for Getty. I think I saw him. Did we confirm that it's him? Did it have a photo credit? I don't know if.
No,
I don't know.
I
if
didn't look.
He could have been there as a guest too, because he's a great
Let's
Star
see, does
Trek
it say?
director.
Yeah, I got a picture with him in
No,
Vegas.
it's
Talked to him.
Ari
Cool dude.
Doheny Stringer.
Oh, it's someone different. But
It's
David
just-
Livingston is
yeah.
a Getty photographer. That's one of the things he does, and it's pretty cool. He covers Hollywood events. I would love it. Can you imagine if David Livingston photographed your event? Like,
The,
well,
the
I mean,
man has directed more hours of Star Trek than anyone else.
Did you
He's
guys
probably
hear-
gonna hold that record forever because I
That's what the fish was named after, right?
Livingston, yeah.
Yeah,
Does he direct any episodes of this season? Do you know?
No, but
Yeah.
he does.
He's retired.
No, I don't think so.
Frakes does.
By the way, the director of the first two, Darren Arnia, how do you say it? Darren
Aronofsky?
Aronofsky.
Aronofsky.
Darren
Thank you.
Aronofsky. Yeah.
Aronofsky, thank you. He was there and he was really nice and cool, and yeah, I just want to say to him, congratulations, damn fine directing.
He's been directing since I think Disco season 1.
Yeah, he's very seasoned at this point. He has a
He
great
might have come in
vision.
with season 2, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's done.
But
a lot
like
of these.
also I
I
just think that's so amazing that like the amount of like kind of anticipation around Picard. So like I just feel like he must feel great because again it just felt like the whole theater was in sync and in like about like like in the beats where everyone like in the funny beats like it felt like the whole theater was laughing like, and in the serious beats it felt like you felt the tension and like you looked around and you saw people like really into it. It was very cool to experience it with 1,000 people, apparently close to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And
I
just
sent
wanna
you a
say,
link
like,
for Amanda Plummer at the event.
Oh, cool. What can you say? Oh, you can't say anything about Vatic. Never mind. I don't think there's anything to say.
Yeah. No.
She's upset. There you go.
Yeah.
I will just say, because it spoils too much stuff. Well, it's weird.
She
I
chose the
can't-
scenery. We can say that.
That's what I was gonna say. Some reviews have said that exact thing, that she's just
Yeah.
like a bit campy. She just chews every every
That would be
scene
the
she's
thing
in
that
and-
for me I see is like
spoilers.
the only negative of my experience with that. But I've also been told to just hold my horses and wait, basically, and
I'm
then
already
you'll learn more. I'm like, okay.
I'm already a big fan of Amanda Plummer, and I will say this is where I think having watched 12 Monkeys comes in handy. There's just like there's certain things that like I feel like character Terry Matalas does a good job of like holding back on a character just long enough, like they're like what they're about, and I get that vibe from her. Is all I'll say. That's all I'll say. She's got a lot going on, and we're gonna. I don't know. I want to know more about her. She's cool. I like her, but I also think she's awful as a individual in universe. I already love to hate her. In other words,
She's a bad seed.
She's a bad egg. She's a bad seed. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But there's so much we don't know, and again, this is where like the reviews that are of the whole season, because I think Jessie Gender did a review of the whole season that's non-spoiler,
Yeah.
and she just
She
dropped
did.
that. Yeah, she just dropped that. So I'm not gonna watch those kinds of things yet because I'm so excited that the 2 episodes is enough for me for now.
Trek Core wrote a review, and I didn't check which individual, but I skimmed theirs just to get a sense of what people are talking about, and one thing that they had some criticisms in there that I agreed with, But one thing that they mentioned was that the episodes 4, 5, and 6 are even stronger than 1, 2, and 3, and so some people might have had like a drop off in Picard seasons 1 and 2 after the initial 3 episodes, and they said that's certainly not the case in season 3. That it
actually gets better as it goes on.
Yeah,
that tracks with like how 12 Monkeys is and like just Terry Metalis' style, I think.
But their criticism was that they thought it might have gone, too hard into the member berries. They said that they counted 8 different references to things from the first 10 Star Trek movies, so all the, TNG and TOS movies. And I know in the first episode I counted a lot, and that was kind of my issue. It was like, a few of those would have been okay, but I felt like a bit too much.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I loved it personally. I was here for it. But that's always been my experience with stuff like that. I'm a big fan of Star Trek referencing itself. I think that it's cool to have that kind of stuff. I do think that like you can go too far, like that one episode of Lower Decks that was on the collector ship. Even though that made the most sense to do that, it was just tiring to see. Like I was like, oh my god.
No, it wasn't. It was amazing.
Okay, there you go. See, difference of opinion.
It was made as it was a game. It was not an episode. It was like find all of these things that Mike has put in there. Try to figure out what
there
the hell
was
they
that.
are.
Yeah, you're right. There was that kind of like vibe to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Look at this, guys. They had this cool like step and repeat fan pen. We met a cool security guard and we talked to her.
Oh,
we got there super early. I think it's safe to say that Aaron and I, when we first arrived, there was no one else. Oh, except the Vulcan ambassador. He arrived at the same time as us. So Aaron, myself, and the Vulcan ambassador were the first one. We saw like people who are executives on Star Trek.
Oh yeah, John showed up. John Gansitters.
And he was
we're like, hey, how's it going? And he holds up like a towel and a spray bottle, and he's like, like, I guess I'm doing this. So that was.
We were very ambitious. We stood around for a bit, seeing if there was a way we could sneak in, but Starfleet security was very good. Yeah, we were gonna try.
We were really hoping to try and get to the party afterwards, and that was 100% not happening.
Yeah, that was very tight. That was a black band situation, and I saw one. They hid them well. The black band people, they did a good job. Like, and then I was like, oh, there's one. I see one.
I was following Bonnie, and I was hoping that I could just like go with her, and they're like the gate. I'm like, all right.
But there were 3 after parties. There was also one at Scum and Villainy, which we didn't make to, but we did go to the Dave and Buster's one, and I forgot to use my credit. Damn it!
Man, they gave us like people really like going to Scum and Villainy, huh? I was like,
well, there's an LCARS section at Scum and Villainy, and
really?
they have a batleth. Yeah, and they have a batleth up there too.
Is that where Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin do?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. Yeah, and Larry Nemeczek, I don't know which party he ended up in, but I bet he got into the... Larry Nemeczek can get into anything. He could just go up to you. He just goes up and says, I'm Dr. Trek, let me in. And people are just like, okay, that's fine.
I'm Dr. Trek, let me in this club now.
You know who else was there? From Star Trek Online, Thomas Morone. Is that,
he literally just messaged me when you said that. That was weird.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, like that.
Crazy.
He's listening.
Maybe
like Beetlejuice. You say his name and 3 times when he appears.
I got to like
he
tell
designed was in the background somewhere or something.
Well, also his kind of update to Enterprise F is what we see in the trailer.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't even realize that it was actually in there. I thought Jesse was completely making that joke up. So
that was my joke. I've been joking for a long time.
Oh, your joke. Okay.
So I mess with Captain Jack. It's Captain Jack on Trek Central loves the Enterprise F.
The Odyssey class.
The Odyssey class. It's his favorite starship, I think, right?
Yeah.
And we were doing speculation, and I said, "Oh, because we were like, what's happening in this scene? Why is there like, what's going on?" Like, and I'm like, "Oh, wouldn't it be awesome if Vadic just blows it up on Federation Day or whatever, like Frontier Day, and and Jack got so mad. He was so upset about it. So now I got that joke in actually, and hopefully Jack won't be upset about it. But yeah, a lot of people love the Enterprise F, but I'm an Enterprise E person. Although I have to say the Enterprise F has grown on me. She is a beautiful ship when you start to look at her. So if you go to the Thomas's website, he has like these cool 3D models, his models, like he puts them on for you to explore, and you can look at them at different angles, and I think you change the lenses and stuff like that. So I started to do that, and I was like, oh yeah, I see it. I could see the ship like being a hero ship for a show. It's pretty cool. But we're not gonna get we already have Strange New World, so we're not gonna get a Enterprise F show probably.
Yeah, probably not.
What about a Titan show?
I would love. Titan. I could say from the first 2 episodes, if Titan survives this season, because anything can happen. I have no idea.
Plenty of letters left in the alphabet.
It's true, Titan A. But at first, I was really kind of like not sure. Like I was really attached to the Stargazer, and I wanted like this, like all this stuff. But
I like that ship a lot.
Yeah, but now after meeting, well, it's the same. Funny enough, it's also a Bill Krause design, so I feel like he is a good designer for this era.
I thought Eves did that. I thought Eves.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry. You're right. Bill Krause incorporated the nacelles because the Shangri-La had the movie era. You know, the same as the Constitution class, right? Yeah. That's right. You're absolutely right. Sorry. That's why I got all confused because of the nacelles. But yeah, you're right. That was John Eves. But yeah, I really like the Stargazer a lot. But now that I've seen the Titan in action, I'm like, really, I love her. She's such a beautiful ship. She's a handsome lady.
How people were complaining that like the bridge looks too similar between the Stargazer and the Titan. I thought like the way that they lit it. It made it feel like it was a different ship.
And obviously we don't have screenshots to show, but when the show actually airs, there's I noticed a lot of subtle, like they redress the set enough to like make it look different. I think it reads as different. There's a lot of similarities, but it reads it as different in a lot of other ways.
Well, if you had like 2 military ships, and like, you know, aside from maybe how drastically different are they going to be, especially if they're very similarly sized or whatever.
Right.
And the idea is that those bridge modules are plug and play, and so they're supposed to be just like they have kind of the standard thing that then they customize slightly.
Oh,
they've been saying that since like TMP, I think.
Will this work? No, it's not working.
And supposedly during an emergency, it becomes a life pod. It can actually separate. And...
Was that in a Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise?
Not sure. That might have been in the TNG module, but I know that they've said, like, the people behind the scenes have said that. It doesn't mean it's been in anything, but.
I'm having a technical difficulty trying to share these photos. Let me try something else.
Did you get the Amanda Plummer one with the?
Oh yeah, I had it on. I had
that. Yeah. With the sunglasses.
She seems like a delightful human being, but probably not one who would want to like be in the crowd and sign in stuff.
Yeah, she's got that sort of like vibe.
Everybody was like, "It's Honey Bunny" as soon as she was revealed as a cast member. It's like Honey Bunny, which is a great role. It's a small role though, but yeah. Her and Tim Roth in Pulp Fiction. Yeah, she has one of the best, most memorable lines I've ever heard. Like it always stuck out to me. Any of you fucking pricks move, I'll execute everyone. You know, like that whole thing.
Every last.
It's like Samuel L. Jackson in Jackie Brown. He's like AK-47. If you put what does he say?
Absolutely, positively.
You want to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitutions or something like that. I don't know. Paraphrasing, but yeah, I like Tarantino movies. Did you ever listen to his podcast? Oh, anyway.
Sorry, I haven't listened to his podcast, but Tarantino, I was on Team Tarantino Trek, but a lot of people got mad at me. There's so much anger against Tarantino Trek.
Just because you like Star Trek doesn't mean you should make Star Trek.
That's true, but I still think he should make Star Trek.
I would like to read the script. There's other movies
Well, yeah, that would be helpful.
I'd like to see produced, but
I want Sam Mendes, or who's the guy who's making Mission Impossible now? He's a good one.
oh, McQuarrie.
Chris
Right?
McQuarrie, yeah, he's a great director.
Yeah. You know, he wanted to direct a Superman movie a few years ago, so I wonder if maybe he'll do the James Gunn Superman movie.
I think James
here we
Gunn is
go.
going to want to direct that. I think he might. He's writing it, so I don't know.
This is the fan pen that we were in before there were fans in it.
The fan
The
pin,
fan pen.
like the pig pin.
God. Did
Yeah,
They,
it's like,
did they
it's
throw
very
slop at you?
Catalan. You,
So I have to say that was so like it was. I got invited to the fan pen and it was an optional thing. Like you didn't have to. You could have just come. The only requirement was if you go to the fan pen, you have to dress in.
You have to have a
uniform.
costume.
Like you have to
Yeah.
costume on, right? So that's why I took a costume with me as an option. But I also had another idea. I was gonna wear like another outfit in case I decided not to go to. I was like wishy-washy about it the whole time because I was just feeling like, do I want to be inside the lobby where it's probably like where I'm gonna like hang out with like folks that I've wanted to meet and that I've been talking to online, or do I want to sit in the fan pen? Even though the cool thing about the fan pen also was that you did have the best view of the red carpet stuff if you're into that. So ultimately I decided that's what I wanted to do, because when else are you going to see this kind of scenario from this perspective with these people? Like, this is supposedly their final.
And they all passed you. They all like went. Right,
Yeah, they all
Mhm.
So it ended up being like the best decision ever to do the
Michelle
fan pen,
Hurd
but
was fantastic. She
Yeah,
kept
she was
coming
great.
back. And it's like, then she'd run back and she's like, okay, let's do it again. So yeah,
but my heart
her
was
energy
definitely
amazing.
torn. I wish that like the fan pen could have been people with costumes and more people, because that would have been awesome too. I think in
And also
this
people that
situation-
just try and shove you into anyway.
yeah.
I'm
And I
glad we
wish
were
it
up
was
front.
like, yeah, that's true. It was surprisingly like being up front. I thought it was gonna be hard because you'd get squished like that, but it was nice
not
because
as
it felt
bad, yeah.
open. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. And also just in general, like Trekkies I feel like are more considerate than
Yeah.
Yeah,
all
definitely.
all the preconceptions I have had about crowds and stuff like that. Like usually they're broken when it comes to Trekkie events, like Star Trek events. I should call it Trekkie.
We're not a perfect
Yeah.
fandom, but we're
Yeah,
the best.
There's like a lot of cool things. Yeah, it's true.
Somebody was dressed as
agree.
a holodeck. That was fun.
It's true. It's true. It's pretty cool.
But they
Uh,
want people that are dressed up so they can get like the good pictures. Like that's why they do this stuff, so they get like
This
the
picture that's back here is
yeah, like that.
super blurry though. It's like, I hope they have more of these, or like a better one, because it's like you can't zoom in very much. Everybody looks very crunched.
Trek Yards posted another version of that, like a different pose with Patrick, and it looks slightly clearer. I think.
Oh,
I think it was
okay.
Trek Yards. I can't remember, but it was another version of that picture.
Is it
On
the one that
their
I put on my
Facebook
On
page?
my,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Oh, okay, cool. There's like a bunch of
Check it out.
versions of them because people were taking that picture with their cell phones. People were taking that
Yeah.
picture with there were like several photographers taking that picture. So I'm sure like in the next few days we'll see more versions of that. I can't believe how lucky we were to be a part of that picture. There's like, how many people are in that picture total? Like 20 maybe tops, right?
Yeah, something like that.
There's like
Just the fact that
20
it just like
folks.
stopped right there was crazy.
Yeah, it's super cool because there was a lot more. The fan pen, you saw how big it was. Like it goes from like the street almost all the way to the theater entrance, so, which is quite a nice ways. Here is the. Is it not sharing? Oh crap!
You think maybe it's Trek Core? Because I don't think Trek Yards has everything's like just their spaceships and stuff.
No, Trek Yards put a picture up and tagged us in it, if I'm not mistaken.
on
I think
Twitter.
that might have been
right?
Yeah, on Twitter, and that was like a different
Oh.
one.
Okay.
Here, look at this. This is like the cool press tent thing, and then they had like a different.
Oh yeah.
That's where they did a lot of the interviews. You'll see in that thing that Will Wheaton hosts, which is pretty cool. and which means they were filming it there. So that's cool. They were like filming it on premises. They put that together fast. Jeez.
And took it down fast too.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this was like a whole production. That's so cool.
One thing that we noticed, this is kind of ancillary to the premiere, is that just walking around Hollywood, if this was like 10 years ago, we'd get people yelling at us saying we're dorks, basically. But everyone we pass, like, oh my God, that's so cool. They're just like, doing the Vulcan hand gesture or whatever. We're just like, this is weird. This is like not what I expected. It's just like people, because it was like we were like minor celebrities just for wearing the uniform.
And people would stop you and say like, "Oh, I love your thing," or like do the Vulcan salute, or some people would say like, "That's what's up."
Yeah,
it was really.
That's a very.
We had the security guard going to Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, that's right. He was awesome because he was like, "I need to see your ID and this and that," and then he said some quote from Star Trek. He did something funny. He was like, he let on right away that he really knew Star Trek and liked it. It was really cool.
He also had his own latinum. That was he had the gold pressed latinum piece.
That's right.
It's not taboo to be a Star Trek fan anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
Like when I was a kid, it's like, keep that to yourself. Don't tell anybody. They'll hate you. Well, it's weird. I used to have people like just react, like treat me differently. Like, oh, you watch that stuff? It's like, yeah, what's your problem?
To be fair and give credit where credit is due, that was the big shift started in 2009 with JJ, and that was I think like the biggest contribution of that movie was it made Star Trek cool for the mainstream audience, and that that led to a lot of people discovering the shows through Netflix and streaming and stuff like that, and yeah, made it cool and I guess not relegated off to like weirdo Dorkville like it used to be.
Right. In this picture, so if you look all the way down at the end where those palm trees are, that's where they started lining us up. But here, and when I took this picture, they hadn't blocked the street off.
There's
yet,
John.
So...
Isn't it?
Oh yeah, look at that. No, that's not. He was wearing a suit jacket. Well, maybe this is from earlier. You're right. Later at the event, he was wearing. Yeah, later at the event. So yeah. He likes to be mysterious, so I'm glad I have just a picture of him where it's just like barely
very far away, where he's doing like whatever he was doing, just like weird Vulcan hand.
He looked like a very busy man, by the way. I don't know him personally, but I just want to say that John Van Citters was very like everywhere. Like he was running around like a crazy man, like working hard, and I really noticed and felt.
You told me he was doing that in Chicago. He was running
around, he's a hard damn worker. Like, and he's an executive.
In New York, he handed out the plushies.
That's right.
What am I trying to say?
Murph plushie.
Murph, thank you. I am so tired. Actually, I think I'm going to log off here. That's probably a good opportunity to do that. So, yes.
All right. Yeah, you're like you're ready to go. But I wanted to show one more picture before you go.
Sure.
Which is, hold on, this one, because I think this is a good one to talk about, and maybe we can end on that, unless you guys have more Picard questions when Aaron leaves. We'll kind of start wrapping it up because I'm also tired and I need to get my rest. But here, let me see if I can do this thing.
I didn't mean to start the mass exodus.
Aaron also did this right before we were about to see something that we weren't supposed. No, but I was also vibing with that, so I was all down with it too. All right, here we go. I think
everybody needed an excuse to just say, "Okay, we are all tired." Oh yay! Yeah.
This is like a really cool thing about this thing where it felt like a convention. Like at conventions, you have a lot of opportunities to like hang out with folks who write the shows and like make the shows and stuff like that. And you get to see Star Trek luminaries like Bijo Tremble, who basically, if you don't know who she is, she was part of the huge letter writing campaign that brought Star Trek back. So what is her official, like, kind of, she's like the biggest Star Trek fan, or like the fan that saved Star Trek, or something like that.
The short version of the story is you could give her a lot of the credit for the letter writing campaign that got TOS the 3rd season renewal, which led to it having enough episodes that it was a valuable syndication commodity, and which led to it gaining popularity in the 70s and syndication, and
Yeah.
the rest is history.
Yeah.
So Aaron Walke there. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
that's
what's
awesome.
cool about this picture is like Aaron Walke is the writer, co-showrunner of Star Trek Prodigy. Aaron is the expert on the animated series and much of Star Trek. The animated series is just what he flexes. He knows Star Trek. He knows a lot about Star Trek.
Jokingly said, "I'm nurse practitioner Trek compared to
exactly.
Doctor Trek."
Dr. Trek, right? Exactly. So we have Aaron Harvey there. We have then Joe and I are just like fans who so I'll never have to save Star Trek because Star Trek's in good hands. But but I hope if I live long enough to be as gracefully aged as Bijo is, that I'm recognized once in a while and someone wants to come and take a picture with me because she's pretty
and
awesome.
She's still sharp as a whip. There's it wasn't like
I won't be. Fair warning to anyone who finds me at 80 or 90 years old.
Or now.
Or now.
Who the hell said you are now?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point, Father. That's a really good point. So yeah, I will be a different experience, but you're right. She's sharp. She was amazing. She was very cool.
That is so cool. Yeah. I'm glad that she's still getting out and about because she's got to be 90 or something now at this point.
Let's see. Let's look her up on real quick. I know Aaron has to leave, but let's just see how old Joe Trumbull is. By the way, I think her husband was there too. He was just already inside or someplace.
It says 89.
89. Wow. And Sir Patrick Stewart himself is 82 years old, I think. I think he's 82, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah. She also revived the LA Science Fiction Society and put together Worldcon and stuff like that early on. So she also propped up the conventions that also propped up Star Trek.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. Good Aaron and great Aaron. Don't like good Aaron.
Well done. Yeah, let's go with that instead of good Aaron and bad Aaron.
By the way, I think Arthur was around for those letter signing things, and so was our friend Jill, who sometimes pops in the chats. Not sometimes, actually, a lot of times. She's always in our chats, which is cool. We love having her.
Past her bedtime at the moment.
Yeah, it is past her bedtime. The After Dark thing's not for everyone. But anyways, good night, Aaron. Off you go. Off you pop.
Bye.
Take care.
Did you guys have any other questions about the audience? We'll give you 2 minutes to you and your gallant thoughts. Any other questions about it? And I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look for some more pictures to share while you guys think about that, or just talk about questions that you have. I guess we could do a little PJ if you want to ask questions about specific questions about episode 1. To see if I can answer it, anything that you're anticipating maybe you're hoping for. What are your hopes for episode 1 is I guess what I want to say.
I just want to be entertained, man. I'm not looking for Shakespeare, but I don't want dumb, pointless action beats with quippy nostalgia berries what's the word? Making up for lack of story or anything like that. I do appreciate the fact that they're together again, and we're gonna see the TNG crew go on an actual 10-episode adventure, 21 years after Nemesis, and just be better than all but First Contact. I don't expect you to be better than First Contact, but if you can be better than Insurrection and Nemesis and Generations, which aren't terrible, but you need to up the ante. I don't know. I have no idea. I just you know what what's interesting about the cast in the interviews? It's been brought up a couple of times, and they make it a point to say you don't have to watch the first. It's almost like they don't want people who are new. Not that you don't want, but you don't have to watch those first two seasons. You can go into this third season as if the Nemesis was the last thing you saw, you could go into season 3. You might be missing a few things here and there, but you'll get the gist of it. And that's important for to gain a bunch of new people who haven't been watching
And in a way,
into
Picard
it like
is.
us, you know.
I think we talked about this before, but like in a way, Picard is kind of like that every season. It has kind of like, you know, it does have a like season 2 is very different from season 1. Like we don't even continue the synth and the Romulan stuff that that season 1 was like super focused on. And
it didn't work, and they went in a different direction.
I have a theory that like
okay,
I have a theory that it's like I like it because I think it's like episodic but seasonotic. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's like we're just gonna do something different every season. Like
Discovery has done that.
Yeah. I don't mind that actually. Like I think it's kind of cool. Like
as long as it gets better, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like season 2 was better than season 1 in some ways. And
I rewatched season 1 and I'm
bad.
I think season 1's a little bit better, but I don't like either season.
I think season 1
I can appreciate
more
things now than I did.
I think season 2 has higher highs but also lower lows than season 1.
The first episode of season 1 and like the last 2 episodes of season 1, good. And Nepenthe's got its good parts too with the Rikers. But then season 2, it's like first episode great, second episode's pretty good, third episode's all right, and then it's like ugh. And then the Q stuff at the end like got me all sentimental, so I bought into that stuff at the very end of season 2. But the actual last episode of season 2 is not that bad either. So
there's a lot of stuff in season 2 that, you know, even if people didn't like those individual episodes or the overall season, there's a lot of good moments that are hard to deny.
I just wonder how they explain when they go back to the present at the end of season 2 why Rios never existed, nor did Girardi, and it's like we're the other people replacing them, and it's like that's like just swept under the rug. I'm nitpicking now. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna point out this picture real quick because I just want to show. We were talking about the bridge crew earlier, and I didn't get a picture. I realized I have him on video, but I didn't get a picture of Joseph Lee, who plays Arliss Matthew Arliss Mura, who's the Titan's tactical officer. Yeah. But these actors here that you see are Jim Maley, who plays Ensign Kova Rin Esmar, and I actually I had to ask Jim because the makeup makes them look different enough that I was like, wait, there's something familiar about you. Are you? And I was like, you're on the bridge crew or something like that. And then Jim said, yeah, I'm on the bridge crew. I play Esmar. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're Esmar. Oh, that's so cool. And then we have here Stephanie. I think, and I hope I'm not pronouncing Stephanie's name wrong, but Shikowski. And they play a Vulcan named Tavine, Lieutenant Tavine. So yeah,
a Vulcan.
Very cool. Yeah, a Vulcan.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. She's bald.
The Vulcan, is bald, but obviously here Stephanie has hair, so it's pretty cool. And I believe Stephanie's a cancer survivor, if I'm not mistaken. So. Pretty interesting.
Aquiel, what's the name of that species?
Yes, I think that's what Esmar is. I think, right?
That's who they're playing. As
Jim Maley is the actor.
The name
plays Kova Rin Esmar is the Ensign Esmar.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. What species did you say?
You know, in the TNG episode, Aquiel. Female officer from Days of Our Lives. I forget her name.
Yeah.
And so they're called Hellions.
Hellions.
Hellions or Hellions.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's the species. And I believe Joseph Lee's character is a Bajoran. But he has different earrings, right? Do all Bajorans have the hangy thing on their
It's a religious thing, so...
so it could be different, I guess. Different sects.
I bet you when Riker gets on the bridge, he looks at him, he's like, take that off. Because he said that to Ensign Rowe. So you're not wearing
I don't think he has one. He doesn't have one.
Also a bit
The
rude
press
of,
picture that I
Riker.
showed earlier, he has one on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
All right,
they're
guys.
basically they're the next generation, is what they are. They're the next generation.
Or 7 could be. There's so many different people that could be the next generation. So
I think it's going to be a 7 Titan show with these cast members plus new ones. It's like what they did with Strange New Worlds with Discovery. They had introduced them, but not all of them. And
there does seem to be a lot of attention on Picard season 3. So I know that they have a lot of faith in Strange New Worlds. Like they always like take Anson Mount out to like the big executive events and stuff with Paramount Global, and
he cooks them dinner and
I'm wondering if right now, if they're trying to figure out, this is just my speculation, I'm not basing this on anything, but I'm wondering if they're trying to weigh, like, which one of these is the future of the franchise? We're going to put all of our eggs in the Strange New World basket, or in the 25th century, whatever post-Picard show maybe basket. So they kind of got, like, a safe thing with Strange New Worlds, but maybe they think they can really push both of them.
I'll tell you right now, if Strange New Worlds gets a 3rd season, it's going to be its last. No, I don't know. I'm just being a prick.
That show. I think Anson Mount's at least signed for 5 years, but I think they're gonna go more than that on that.
I want a 25th century show to replace Picard when that's over, and then I'm good. We can watch the rest of what's already out there, and I'm good. Just give me 25th century continuation of some sort.
That's Terry's idea.
Prodigy and Lower Decks.
I'm on the.
Are kind of in that timeline where they're reaching events.
As well.
Like, yeah, so they're not in the distant past, but they're.
I really like it, and that right now the majority of shows are actually set in the proximity of the 25th century, because Prodigy and Lower Decks are both set in the 24th century. Yeah, so it's the late 24th century, right?
Yeah, it's the 80s.
So I like this kind of map, and like I think I think it could be cool. I think it could be a very cool thing, and they're already doing really neat things anyways, like with this crossover that's going to come up soon, and they're already starting to like create a very rich foundation for that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I think I've mentioned this on your channel before, but it was either what's his name? Henry Alonzo Myers? Or
yes.
Akiva Goldsman. One of the, I think it was Henry Alonzo Myers, but he said that the way that they approach writing Strange New Worlds is they treat every season as if, okay, if we can only do 10 of these, this is all we're ever going to do. This is the final season ever. What are the main top things that we want to do? You know, that's why they went ahead and did something with the Gorn and brought in Kirk, because they're like, yeah, what if this is like our only chance to do that? That's kind of like the end of season 1. It's like, okay, Captain Pike's going to accept his fate. That almost seems like that could have been like the end of the show, you know? So they're taking that approach to it. I think that's a very bold direction to go in. And I think for the style of show that they're doing, where they want every episode to be its own kind of big event, you kind of need to swing for the fence on stuff like that.
Oh,
hopefully
by the
it works
way,
out.
Nicole DeBoer was at the premiere. And I think I already meant...
That mean Ezri's going to show up? Is Ezri going to pop up in an episode?
It doesn't have to mean any of that. I think
I certainly hope Ezri shows up.
I hope so too, actually. I like Ezri.
Yeah. I've heard other Voyager characters may or may not be there.
And I don't think this is... I mean, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, and I won't confirm or deny if there's anything, like that. But I will just say that, like, I know it's widely... anticipated that we'll see references to, or maybe surprise characters, from both.
Some reviews have actually said we see familiar faces that they don't mention, but that we see familiar faces.
Yeah, that's been floating around recently, and I'm excited about that, because I kind of there's a lot of people there at the event who were
It is confirmed that Janeway does not show up. Terry has said that, like, he doesn't want false expectations for a Janeway cameo.
Right, and I think the way he put it was kind of fun. He's like, Janeway belongs to Prodigy. Like, that's it. Like,
and that's perfect. Where her character is being explored in another show. So, and who knows? Kate Mulgrew could still, if the Titan A show, if it happens, stars 7 of 9, a Voyager character, would it not essentially be a great opportunity to bring back as many, to do what you did with TNG with Picard season 3, do a Voyager style reunion kind of thing?
Jesse James Keitel was there too, by the way, Captain Angel.
Oh, cool. Wow.
And I was wondering if there was a guy who looked kind of like what I think, I didn't get a picture of him, but what I think Cybok might look like. So maybe.
Oh, wow. Really? Do you know the actor's name? No.
No, I didn't. There were so many people that. So Starfleet Boy doesn't really follow too much outside of Star Trek. So if there's a new face, I hardly ever know who they are. Like, I should have known Todd Stashwick. Apparently he's in everything, but I didn't meet him till I got interested in 12 Monkeys. So Starfleet Boy's not good at like anything outside of Star Trek, really.
Me neither.
But Todd Stashwick was great. I have a video of him that I have a clip of him. We'll sign out on that video. I'm gonna see. Let me pull that video up real quick. Hold on. Where is it? Oh wait, I want to show you the Alex Kurtzman, and I have a picture of Alex Kurtzman and Terry Metalis on the stage. You can get an idea of how big the screen was that we saw it on with this picture. You've probably seen this, Dave. I think Dave Blass posted some really cool pictures on his Twitter feed. But let me see. Here we go. All right. Do you see it?
I see it.
Let me see if I can make it
It's a
bigger.
big screen.
I see a couple of Boimlers.
Yeah.
Boiming around down there looking for their seats.
And that's the back of Aaron Harvey's head with the Picard mask there.
Oh.
I just realized. So that's where we were sitting in proximity of each other.
That's pretty close.
Yeah. But I feel like this was such a sweet seat, by the way. I was just close enough to the screen where it was like on the edge of my periphery, but like not so far that I had to like turn my head to look, at things happening. So it was like a perfect spot. So whoever my guardian angels of Star Trek were, you did a good job. You put me in a good seat. And I don't know what the why those angels are Irish, or why I get Irish-ish.
I wasn't going to ask.
Weird.
The angels from heaven.
I think it's because I've heard you do it, PJ. So I'm gonna blame it on you. But yeah, and then let me just pull up this video. PJ, did you see the video, the TikTok thing I made?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I want to show sorry. Larry Nemechek took pictures of my popcorn cup. Did he post them?
You have music behind that, don't you? Like, that could probably not be played.
No, it's safe because it's from TikTok. So it's like a slower version, or a version that you're allowed to. It's like whatever they've already like licensed or whatever. So it's fine. You can use it. It's weird how licensing works. But YouTube might put a thing on it, but I don't think they will. But let me just show you this cup real quick. My cup. So
your athletic cup, what?
Terry Metalis has said like he loves to make shows that you could watch like with popcorn, and so he had popcorn. they gave you popcorn and soda, so I got a Coke. And I got a popcorn. It was super cool, and it wasn't like an obscenely large Coke like you get at AMC. It was like a perfect size 1990s or 1980s medium or small cup. It was like a small cup,
Not like the gluttonous big cups they have now. You can barely fit your hand around.
Yeah, and then you have to go to the bathroom. So that was the other thing that was great. I didn't have to go to the bathroom because like it wasn't like I had just enough of my refreshment to get the popcorn down my throat. But anyways, this is the popcorn bucket, which I did not take with me because it had butter in it, and I thought that would be gross to
keep
kind of to keep and store. And
you meant like you didn't take it with you because like to eat as like a snack because you're like walking out of the theater. But like no, you were talking about like actually like taking it home and keeping it.
I took it home to the hotel I was staying at, but I didn't bring it home here. But that's it right there.
Yeah.
That could be worth $40 in 80 years.
Nah. But look how pretty it is. They did a good job printing it.
That image is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, that image is on a CBS. Apparently is having a special called Star Trek Picard: The Final Mission. A 30-minute
That's the one I was
thing
talking about. It's like
hosted by Will Wheaton.
Long. Yes, that's what. It's already up. It's online.
Oh, it is.
You can watch it on. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube too. Oh, here's a picture.
Well, probably not in Canada. Yeah.
There's a picture that Aaron Harvey caught of me. Hold on, where is it? Come on. Where is it? There we go. He caught of me doing a video of the reveal of the Picard thing, which I also did a TikTok on. So that was fun.
Oh, it is on StarTrek.com.
It is, yeah. I'm really getting into TikTok. Father, you do good TikTok videos too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I mean, like I like the YouTube Shorts, which are basically just TikToks on YouTube.
Right.
But I need to. I just don't have time. I need to do some more stuff with that. But hopefully someday.
All right, let me bring up this Starfleet Boy TikTok here. Let's see. Oh, cool. There's so many new folks following, so thank you. That's really nice. Well, my voice is like really going. All right, here, let's pull this thing up here. And we'll. By the way, you can hear my morning after partying voice.
It's like, hey, I'm Starfleet Boy.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Father, do an introduction while I come back here.
So this is an introduction to Starfleet Boy on TikTok after dark. Or is it Starfleet Boy After Dark on TikTok? I don't know, but
play the clip, Johnny.
Yes, go ahead, Johnny. Jonathan Del Arco is actually our backstage producer preparing the clip. He physically carries the Betamax tape to the machine to play it.
Betamax.
And here, okay, thank you, Jonathan. Here we go. Yeah, go ahead and get that initiated, or as Admiral Picard would say,
make it show.
Engage.
Oh, well.
All right. Engage. Here we go. Let's see.
Good morning, Trek Talk, Trekstagram, Trek Twitter. Wow, I just woke up. I had a late night, having fun partying with friends. But I just wanted to enjoy this last morning at Chateau Picard and enjoy this beautiful view of LA one more time. Here, I'll show you.
Look at this view, guys.
So pretty, LA. I have a new appreciation for you.
Then you noticed the moon for the first time.
Last night was magical, to say the least.
He's like, oh, look, the moon. How long has that thing been there?
Later, I took a lot of videos and photographs, but I just want to say that for me, Star Trek Picard
TikTok makes it really easy for you to observe things and pivot on the fly. It's really funny.
Beautiful, amazing.
This is the boring part. The real fun part's the footage.
I don't think I should.
Of the
I'm not going to. All I can say is kind of that.
Look, I'm about to do a camera angle shift. And look, I have a cat hair. I don't know where it came from. In my beard. Do you guys see it? Now, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
To see them and have another
and it's
adventure
also
with them,
where did that cat hair come from?
The promise that we get of what is to come this season is epic.
It is.
Terry Metalis and his whole team should be able to work on any Star Trek project they want to. It's that good.
It is really honestly, I'm still I'm 24 hours from this point, and I'm.
It's coming next week,
not that
so
long,
you have no excuse. They're
but
doing
definitely
free trials
for the premiere,
of Paramount Plus, and I think it lasts a month, so you might be able to see the whole thing almost not quite. Actually, it's 10 weeks, so you won't see the whole thing, but it's worth it. 4 episodes is gonna hook you. 2 episodes is gonna hook you. 1 episode is gonna hook you. It's so good. Oh look, I just noticed them. The moon's still there.
In the daytime.
Oh look, I just noticed something.
Really cool. And just on a personal note, last night was extremely magical. I don't know what. Oh, you know what comes to mind? The Sound of Music. Somewhere in my
then he
youth
starts
or
singing.
childhood, I must have done.
Are you still drunk from the night before?
good.
I had a lot to drink.
Live long and prosper, my
I had a
friends.
lot
See you
to
later.
drink. I think I was drunk.
Here we go. Admiral Picard, Dr. Beverly Crusher, and Jackie Cox, and Todd Stashwick, and Jonathan Frakes.
Todd.
Todd.
Did you see the Rod? Did you see Rod Roddenberry real quick? Look, Roddenberry and Michelle Hurd. Look, you can hear me screaming in this.
Michelle Hurd.
Michelle!
So, are you telling you yelled Michelle, and then Michelle Hurd?
She did. She like did this with her. No, she was showing off her earrings. Look, there's the new crew guys.
Our bald Vulcan.
Can you give us an LLAP, please? Yay! There's Aaron. He's so awesome. He's such a cool guy. And
Yeah,
then
we saw him in Chicago.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Oh, why is it repeating? No, stop.
That's the TikTok thing, right?
Yeah. So yeah, go subscribe to me on TikTok for more fun videos. I don't know if I'll make more TikToks. No, I'm gonna make one for
You're retired.
every. No, I'm gonna. I've peaked on TikTok. I'm gonna make a similar video for every episode of Star Trek Picard, season 3.
Make sure you get the
Like
moon in the daytime.
The thing is I gotta make them when I'm drunk, right? Like that's how we gotta. That's how, or
If you need
hungover.
another excuse to drink, that's as good as.
By the way,
I
I
can-
did not
anything I
drink
can
at all
think of.
on this. I didn't drink at all on this Starfleet Boy After Dark. Did you all drink? You all weren't drinking either.
No,
right?
I've
I
been
drank
drinking
water.
Water.
Yeah, I had
Out of
water.
a
That's
can.
true. I did drink water too. Sorry, guys. This was like a. I guess I had my fill. But yeah, so let's see. Did I miss any questions? I hope I didn't miss any questions. But thanks for joining me, guys. It was fun to recap some of those things and show some pictures.
Is there a TAS stream tomorrow?
I'm gonna have to call it a no, right? Because it's like so
Okay.
late. Are we gonna get up for it and like? Do you think? Let's play it by ear.
You probably need a break.
I think I need a break.
You know?
Yeah. You've had a lot of fun.
You deserve a break today, Starfleet Boy.
I'll have my Patreon
that's
watch
what's up.
party tomorrow, though.
Yeah, and I will come to that. So that'll be cool. I don't need a break from that because that's just watching an episode and hanging out. So that's cool. Anything
Yes,
you got
sir.
going on, PJ, that you want to promote?
No. But
PJ, thanks
I-
for
I-
letting me
I
take
will
over
be-
your stream time today.
Oh, it's okay. It wasn't. I think I'm gonna probably watch The Last of Us while I go to sleep. Probably have good dreams. But I wanna talk about the new Picard with Ruben because he's not gonna like it no matter what. No.
I invited him to
Ruben
this
was a good
stream.
sport because he watched every episode of Picard season 2. I think partly because he was coming on my channel to talk about it. He really didn't want to. And I think he's fed up now. And I understand that, but I think if it's good, like Andor, people who are burned on Star Wars, Andor comes along, I'm like, no, watch this. It's a turning point. It really is. And they're like, nope, I've just had it. I'm like, all right.
Didn't Disney Plus lose like 2 million subscribers or something like that?
I actually unsubscribed in February. I watched Black Panther and then I was done. And until March when Mandalorian comes back. I can't afford to have all of them at once.
I love you using that word umpteen. That's a good use case for umpteen. I don't want to umpteen streaming services either, PJ.
Yeah, I'll get Netflix when Luther, the movie Luther comes out on Netflix because
Now
I'll only get them when it's something good I can watch, and I have there's no sense in having a streaming service with like things you've seen, and there's like barely anything new.
Right now, I only have Netflix and Paramount Plus, and I heard because of this new merger, we're gonna get Showtime somehow.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting because there's a lot of good shows on Showtime that I never got access to, but I
yeah,
wanted to see.
Yellowstone, or no, that's on Peacock, right?
That's on
No,
Peacock,
Yellowstone is also
It's
Paramount
Showtime?
Plus.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, you're right.
But Yellow Jackets, that's a really big one. It's Showtime has.
That's why Crave is so good in Canada, because it's HBO, it's Showtime, plus like other things.
And it's all one price.
Yeah.
That's great.
Actually, no. There's two tiers of Crave you can get. You can get like a basic version, which doesn't have some things.
Like
there's no ad version of it though. There's like, but the good version. Actually, there's three tiers. There's basic, and then there's like HBO, Showtime, good, like a bunch of stuff, and then there's a version that has like Stars, which is just like a collection of old movies and anything that Stars makes.
Right on. Hey Jude, nice to see you. Oh man, I can't wait.
Luther is going to be fun. I agree. He's still a copper. I love that line.
Is that the
It's like,
Idris Elba?
I'm still a copper.
The Idris Elba
DCI
show?
Lufa.
I didn't know that they were
Luther
making
is-
a movie.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
they are,
the show is fantastic. It's comprised of like hour and a half episodes, but there's only like 4 per season.
Oh yeah, it's almost like that BBC Sherlock format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next week.
But Idris Elba is fantastic in it. It's his best role. I'm so surprised people aren't onto that show. Like it
I
amazes
wanted
me.
to watch that on Netflix like 12 years ago or some shit, and just never ever got around to it because I'm too busy watching fucking Star Trek all the damn time.
Andy Serkis is the villain in the movie. So there you go.
He makes good baddies. He's good at the nasty characters.
Apparently,
Next
Luther has his precious.
Next week, guys, that's it. Star Trek Picard hits the air. Starfleet Boy will be doing reactions on TikTok, as we just said, but also Trek on the Tube says that he wants to talk about Star Trek Picard with me. So Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna have those conversations, and maybe Braxton will join us. You guys are welcome. Fathery, you're welcome, but I know you got a lot of work to do to prepare for the Friday show, which is the first and deepest dive on Star Trek Picard. So that's
with the screeners, you can get a head start on that stuff.
I know. I asked for them. I wrote to like 7 different people asking for them.
Well, Fathery has them.
He can't
you can
share
actually like prepare in advance, like way in advance.
Yeah, Father can.
I can, but
he can. He doesn't want to do it.
There's
yeah.
I do some stuff in advance, but I wait till Thursday to grab my screenshots.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff I can't do early, but it's still a tremendous help.
Because you can't screenshot the screeners, right? Are they the same quality as the stream?
Yeah, it's not the same quality, and then it has like the Paramount labeling on it, and yeah, just it would be more work and less quality in a lot of ways.
Nice. So yeah. Anyways, that's Fridays, and then we'll see what happens next, guys.
All right.
Live long and prosper, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, my voice is totally weird. Bye.